and the camera right there. That little dot right there.
That little dot is
That
the camera?
the wee little one.
Oh, that's just fantastic that there's a camera there.
No, I thought I felt like 10 pounds heavier.
I feel 10 pounds heavier, but it's mostly in this fat head area.
Well,
yes, exactly. That's
where's
what I
my super suit?
Where's my super suit?
Damn
it! So, welcome to the podcast. I'm Kelly, and this is Mike. I don't think I got that right. Did I get that right?
It's Michelle.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Michelle, and this is Mike.
Mike.
So we're going to be doing a lot of exciting things, and we're glad and happy that you're joining us. We're going to be talking about music and fashion and a whole bunch of other things that are exciting entertainment. You're going to be talking about fashion because, as you can tell, I don't have any.
You do?
I have a shirt on and pants. That's about as far as I got.
It is very 21st century Fred Flintstone.
Well, good. Because I have the big fat head and the feet to go along with the car.
I was trying to compliment your whole fat head syndrome.
I love it. I absolutely.
Thinking of someone else. It was better than, like, I wasn't going to go like Fred Gwynn.
No. But Fred Gwynn was a great judge in My Cousin Vinny.
God, please. Let's not go there.
Right?
I could quote that movie all day. It's the best.
That's a great movie. So, I wanted to, and by the way, every time I bring something up, apparently I have to hold my hands up like this because I'm Italian. Yeah. So, one of the things that I was listening to on the way here was a Whitesnake song. And Whitesnake was the very first concert I ever went to. It was David Coverdale, Steve Vai, Adrian Vandenberg, Rudy Sarzo, and Tommy Aldridge on drums. And I don't think that outside of the Kiss reunion, I don't think anything ever could top that because those guys were unbelievable. Watching Steve Vai and Adrian Vandenberg go back and forth on that stage, it's one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life.
That was like 177 years ago.
It was. I'm surprised I made it out alive at that concert. It was.
So wait, that was your first concert?
Very first concert was Whitesnake.
Very first like music concert.
Yeah, I mean outside of the school productions that we put on.
Right. How old were you?
I was 15.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and this was 90. This is 1890. It was
1890.
And Bad English opened up.
Oh.
And they got booed off the stage.
Oh no.
I don't know why. I thought they were pretty good, but whatever. What was your first concert experience or earliest concert experience?
It's hard to say because I saw a few. I know I saw a Melba concert when I was young, and I saw the Monkees when I was 12. That was their 25th anniversary tour, I believe it was, and I won 4 free tickets to PNC to go see the Monkees. I won them on Z100.
Wow.
I never win anything on the radio, and
that's
I just
amazing.
happened to win these on the radio. And it was my dad and my 7-year-old sister and my cousin. No, did he go? Somebody else went. They were young, but it was little 12-year-old me. We were third row.
That's awesome.
And I was standing on my chair, screaming, "David, I love you!"
Did they have any opening acts or?
Herman's Hermits.
Wow.
And it was Herman's Hermits and it slips me. I remember Herman's Hermits and I can't remember. I have the ticket floating around here somewhere.
That's amazing.
But yeah, that was pretty cool experience. And then after that, it was Def Leppard and Queensryche on the Hysteria tour.
Oh my God! Now you have to.
That was mind blowing.
Yes, that's an incredible concert.
Hello. I wonder. I mean, it made such a big impact on me. You can't even imagine. Could you imagine what seeing Def Leppard in Queensryche at 15, 16 did to me? If you don't know, I'm the co-lead vocalist of a Queensryche tribute, female-fronted Queensryche tribute band. So,
and I'm not.
so that's what Queensryche.
I'm not in any
that
Queensryche cover band.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing, and it was my first concert at a big arena like that. Our tickets were the very last row of Brenda Brown Arena. The very
all the way
last
on the top.
row, all the way at the top. And it was great because it was Def Leppard's Hysteria tour, and they were in the round because they did the laser light show.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we had the best seats in the house because we got to see all of the laser light action that was going on. So.
And what tour was that for Queensryche? Was that the Mine?
It was Operation Mindcrime, yeah. And Scott Rockenfield's kit. They had his kid out there with the chains. Oh, I'm like, who is this band? I can't pronounce their name. What is this? Queens? What is this? With the dot dots. Are they like Scandinavian? What is this? And
Queensryche.
And they blew my mind. And I actually knew almost half their set because of WSOU.
Oh, that's right.
I was like, I know this song. This is them? This is them? Yeah, instant fan. And I did not become a fan of Queensryche because of the vocals, contrary to popular belief. I was a drummer then, and I was just impressed by drummers. So I didn't even know that Sweet Sister Mary was on the Operation Mindcrime album for about a decade.
That's a hell of a song.
I'm like, there's a chick singing on there? How did there? I've listened to that album top to bottom. I don't remember a woman singing on that. Oh, that sweet song. Oh yeah, I just forward over that thing.
I just skip past
it. Skip that one.
I don't want to listen.
It's 10 minutes long. Who has 10 minutes?
To be honest with you, when you're that young, you don't want to listen to a song that's 10 minutes long.
How did I miss this song? Like, it was Christmas. I discovered a new song off of an album that I had had for over a decade.
Yeah. And Def Leppard touring in the round, that was a new concept, and a lot of other people picked up on it. And then Metallica did it, and a lot of other bands did it because they wanted to get the best viewing experience for the audience. Mm-hmm. I saw Def Leppard in 92 or 93 in Hartford, and they were amazing, and they were touring on Adrenalize.
Yep.
And they were unbelievable. And they started to play the beginning of the song by Nirvana. I can't think of the name of it, but
Smells Like
Spirit. And they started doing it, and then they just stopped and said no, and the whole crowd went nuts because they made fun of them. And I'm not a big fan of that music.
You know who else I saw in the round?
Who else?
I saw Eddie Money.
Oh, Edward Mahoney. Tell me about Edward Mahoney.
Edward Mahoney.
Oh, my God.
Around Westbury Music Fair. Billy Squier opened up for him. That was an interesting show. I had seen Billy Squier once before. Billy Squier had opened up for Bon Jovi one year, too. So that was double dose on the Billy Squier, which is a really good show, by the way.
Yeah, he puts on a good show.
That was impressed. Eddie Money was hilarious. I think he was like half in the bag when he got out on the stage. He had to be. Like, he just was not very coherent. And, I know he's got a really thick accent and all, but like, really like his muscles in his mouth. And he kept strangling himself with the microphone cord. He's wrapping it around himself. It was like nervous energy. And so he's twisting this cord around his body, and we're like, he's going to fall flat on his face. And he couldn't figure out, because it was in the round, so it was just tripping him out. And the best part of the show was he was doing what's the song? Take Me Home Tonight. And he said, I'm gonna need some help for this.
Oh no.
So he brings out his niece and his nephew.
Oh.
The niece had to be about 5, maybe. I don't know. She was little. The nephew was a little older, maybe 7, whatever. And so, they got a little mic. This one. I'll never forget. Just blonde hair. And it's her part. She knows her part. She's got her mic. And the hand goes on the hip. be my little baby. And the whole place lost their minds. Lost it. Her cue was, she knew her cue, everything. Be my little baby. Stole the show.
Stole adorable.
The show. Oh, adorable. She's probably like, 30 now. Like, oh my God, I can't believe my uncle had me doing
I can't. Nobody watched the video of me doing that.
Exactly.
I'm embarrassed enough.
Oh my God. But yeah, that was just the things that you remember when you go to shows, like the little.
Yeah.
It's usually not something big that you would think it is. It's always like the little stupid stuff. Once I was let loose into the world and allowed to go out to the clubs and see live music, it was, I was everywhere.
That's beautiful. I was unfortunately at a Hanson concert, which I didn't know I was a part of. Let me explain that before everybody starts commenting. But I was in Paramus Park having, it was a dinner, and all of a sudden I heard all these people screaming and running around, and they had decided to play Paramus Park Mall and set up and start playing. And I'm eating dinner, and now I was trying to get the hell out of there, and I couldn't eat fast enough.
Now.
Yeah, I was like, I got to get out of here. So when people go, what's the most unique concert you've ever been to? It's Hanson, but it wasn't by, I wanted to go. I was trapped. It was entrapment. It was an entrapment concert. I was entrapped and forced to listen to that.
I can't think of a concert that I went to that I was really forced to go to. Like, that was torturous or anything. Like, I'm always pretty game for
anything
stuff.
Yeah, but that's good though.
I mean, I've seen some crappy shows. I've seen some crappy.
Let's talk about some crappy shows.
Oh God. Oh, one of the top of my list. We went to go see Tool. Mike Patton. I don't know what the name of this band was. It wasn't Mr. Bungle at this time. It was in between when he was doing some really weird shit. And yeah, I like Mike Patton, so I was pretty excited. And we sat there and watched him for about a half an hour. Go. It's like, what the ever living fuck? And only to be followed by Tool and Maynard doing the whole show behind a sheet with his back to the audience. Yeah. So it was just like, okay, Night of the Freaks, I got you. But the singer from the Psychedelic Furs gave the audience the finger all night.
That's good.
I don't think he was doing it on purpose, but that was his move.
That's a good move.
So he's just like, we're like, is he blowing everybody off? Like, what are you doing, dude?
That's a good move to the audience. You want to invite them in and give them the finger, and then send them on their way. Yeah, I think I saw John Bobcat Watermellencamp, who's John Cougar Mellencamp, but I call him John Bobcat Watermellencamp.
Why is that?
Because my friend said it once, and I never forgot it. But he had a juggler opening up, and the juggler comes out, and he's throwing things up, and he's dropping shit all over the stage. Oh, God. So I'm like, is this, like, are real? We supposed to be laughing or just cheering him on?
For this guy.
And there's shit all over the stage, and I'm going, what is this? And then, he gets his stuff, picks up, and leaves, and then John comes out and, does an hour and a half, and it was amazing, and I was like, wow, this is great. But that was the strangest opener I've ever seen in my life. I was like, how are you going to top that?
Now, have you been to a show where the opener just totally blew away the headliner?
Yeah, and I've said this to them, and they thanked me for it, and I never forgot it. 12 Stones opened up for Creed. They blew Creed off the stage. And Creed was big at, I know they're back again and they're touring, but this is like 98, 99. 12 Stones came in and just destroyed the audience, killed it. And a couple years later, I saw them at Debonair Music Hall, and I said to them, when you guys open up for Creed, you blew them off the stage, and I never forgot that. That was the only experience I ever saw an opener blow them off. How about you?
Hailstorm.
Oh, wow.
But I saw Hailstorm. This was in 2000, like for 2001.
I didn't know they were around for that
It
long.
was Seether, Flyleaf, Hailstorm. Who else was playing with Seether? Was it? Oh, Shinedown. Duh. I'm like, wait a minute, this is a big show. So it was Shinedown, Seether, Flyleaf, and Hailstorm. It was at Starland, I want to say, or Birch Hill, one of them. Obviously, this was Shinedown's tour. Seether was pretty big then at this point too. Flyleaf was the reason why I went, because they had just come out, and I was like, oh my god, chick rock, I love it. And so Hailstorm was the local band. We just sold, like, our souls and used all our money to sell these tickets, because this is a big ass fucking show that we got. And luckily, me and my friend got there early, because it was a hike. So we got there early and we caught Hailstorm set. And I just remember standing there going, well, this was worth the price of admission in itself. I'm like, they're fucking better than Flyleaf. Like, it was, my mind was blown.
That's
like,
awesome.
It was blown. I bought their CD, their demo. It was a demo. I've searched high and low. I know I have it here somewhere. It's around. I know I have it, but I had it forever. I can't even tell you what songs were on that demo. I just bought it because I was just like, oh my god, this band is so phenomenal. They're so awesome, and I just like, they're gonna go and do things.
Yeah.
And then they kind of drifted off a little bit, and then came back with a vengeance. And I'm not surprised. And Lzzy Hale is sounding like she sold her soul to the devil. Yo, I mean, I saw them with the Pretty Reckless, and I just sat there with my mouth wide open, like, she had to have sold her soul to the devil. Like, no one sounds that perfect. She's phenomenal.
Yeah.
She is phenomenal. Steve Whiteman is a awesome vocal coach for her. Like,
oh, I didn't know he was her vocal coach.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes. And you can hear his passion. Like, she's a yeller. She's a screamer. Like, she is balls out. Like, I can't. It's just not my vocal style. But she could just let it rip. And I watched her do all kinds of crazy vocal Cirque du Soleil with her voice. Third song in.
Wow.
Third song in. You got the whole night and you got to sing, Lizzie. And you're going to do that stuff in the third song? That's just your warm-up?
Right. And you can think of how many other shows they're going to
play, right? Like, damn. Oh.
Now, speaking of Lzzy Hale, what do you think about, and I know I'm going to cause a lot of controversy.
Oh, here we go.
By
I'm like, what?
What do you think Skid Row should do at this point? Because they've been through many singers. You know, they started with Sebastian, and then they went to...
Well, I'm a little partial, because you know that both my vocal coaches have served as singers for Skid Row.
That's why I'm asking.
Sebastian Bach and Tony Harnell.
Right.
What I think that they should do, if we're being honest, I mean, they can just keep doing what they're doing. It's kind of I don't think it will ever happen. Just because I know a lot about some of the stuff going on between them, and it's sad because I've heard Sebastian sing recently, and he's still in pretty badass form.
Yeah.
But people have to understand sometimes that as much as you love a band, you're dealing with individuals, and it's like any kind of relationship. Like, even when you're in a relationship with, a marriage, someone you love, like, sometimes love is not enough to keep you together. And you know what? Sometimes music is just not enough to keep people together. The Eagles finally, hell froze over for them. It took forever, but,
and you should watch that documentary if you haven't seen
the Police will probably never be in the same room together, last time they were together, ribs were broken. So, you are dealing with people who spend a ridiculously amount of time with each other touring in very uncomfortable situations, like no one has their space and you're seeing this person every day and you're stressed out as it is and you're missing family and stuff and it can be exhausting. And just being friends with touring musicians and just and watching and hearing the stories, I'll take this. That's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Sure
what
is.
they do. I don't think people really. It's not like sports. Let's say.
Yeah.
It's different when you're playing a sport, baseball, basketball. You're playing a sport that you've been playing since you're a kid, and you're getting paid. I mean, and it's physically taxing. But you are an athlete, so you're training your body to do this. Whereas when you're a musician, you're not training your body for the tour schedule. You're training your body for your instrument. So you're working on mastering your skill. But now you got all of this jumping on planes and time travel, different time zones.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my friends right now is his tour schedule is ridiculous. Like it's like every day it's like, what time zone are you in now? Like, talk about jet lag. I don't understand. I know how I am after a gig, like on a Saturday, and I play a gig. Don't talk to me on Sunday.
Yeah.
Maybe don't talk to me on Monday.
Leave me alone. I'm exhausted. I had to deal with egos and traveling.
Like, so they just got to get up and go to the next place. And so it's a whole different, it's a different animal. And so as a fan of the music, I try not to judge the inner workings of bands because I know what's happening on the inside. And I know some of these people don't like each other. And well, what good is the show going to be if, one of them's going to start swinging at the other one?
My suggestion for the lead singer of Skid Row is Frankie Valli. I think he's in perfect condition, perfect shape. Why are they putting that guy up on stage when he's 107? Just leave the guy alone. Like, we know he's lip syncing. Everybody's like, let him go out and have fun. Yeah, I understand that.
They should just keep, I mean, people have asked me the same thing about Queensryche. And
see,
music will travel. That's what I say. Just go do what y'all are gonna do. But I have my opinions about that, and people might not necessarily like them, but
they're your opinions,
right?
So.
And
let me just say, I love Queensryche's last album. I think Todd has an amazing voice, and I think that last album was really a shot in the arm that they needed. Now, how they follow up with it, I don't know. But that last album to me was really important, and I thought the drumming was phenomenal. So I'm excited to see what they do next. I don't know if they'll ever get back together with, Jeff, and if they get the guitar player, Chris DeGarmo, if he ever comes out of retirement, then that's a different story. If Scott comes back, I don't think he'll ever come back, but that would be exciting to see.
It's almost like if Richie Sambora was to return to Bon Jovi.
No!
Richie, if you're watching this, please
don't go. And to be honest with you, I think the reason why John's voice is shot is because he didn't let Richie sing as much as he should have.
No, that's not true. I think that John's voice is shot because for many, many, many years, and the reason why I speak with authority is because I ran a fan club for Richie Sambora for 35 years. So,
I didn't know that.
I was one of the biggest Bon Jovi fans on the planet.
I didn't know that. But
I am a pure to the bone Bon Jovi junkie. I was incurable.
I'm sorry. And you know more about vocals than I ever will.
And as a huge Bon Jovi fan, I was not hesitant to criticize John at every moment that I had because I just did. Yeah, Keep the Faith album was probably the best vocalizations that John Bon Jovi ever did. And that was because he enlisted the help of a fantastic vocal coach, Katie Gresta. And you can hear the difference. You can hear it in his voice. He can sustain better. Everything is clearer. But I've watched him perform. I've been to a lot of Bon Jovi concerts, and he's a screamer.
Yeah,
and not in the way of say like a Mark Slaughter or Jeff Keith. Different type. Well, Jeff Keith is just he's a grater. He takes his vocal cords and he puts them on a cheese grater and he does like this. But John, what he was doing with his voice was not that far off from it. He really just did a lot of damaging things with his voice. It just wasn't natural. He was very nasal. And when you're doing that for years and years and years, and you're touring the way that they did, I mean, Richie said that it was one of the things that was really killing it is that, they were going on this 18-month tour, and then after that, they're in the studio writing the new album, and then after that, they're touring for this album. Yeah. It's like you don't get a chance to breathe.
Yeah, that's not good.
And it'll make you crazy. And honestly, they were writing the same album over and over and over again. So, like, I guess he was just like, what do you need me for? You're writing the same shit. So, like, I'm just going to go this way. Yeah, I would just, he really, I watched the documentary.
See, I haven't.
Okay, so you gotta watch the documentary because it's a 3-part documentary, and it put me through the as a Bon Jovi fan, as a diehard Bon Jovi fan. This thing put me through the motions because when it first started, I was just like, oh my god, this is how they begin. This is like the ultimate best band of the world, and this is how they started in this basement in New Jersey. Like, all of the emotions were coming back. So the first episode, you're just, yes, they're about to take over the world. Okay, next episode, they're taking over the world. And so now all of the drama is kicking in, and I'm just like, oh, yeah, I knew that story when it was happening. It was so many revelations that were made in this documentary that I heard, like, when they happened. And I was just like, okay, but I'm not gonna believe shit. I always took in the gossip, but I was never just like, okay, I'm gonna put this in the newsletter. No,
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We weren't a tablet, wasn't the National Enquirer. But yeah, I was hearing all the stories, fielding a lot of them too. Like, people would call me up, oh my god, you hear? And I'm like, oh, it's fake.
Right. And now it wasn't.
And now they're saying it, so I'm like, okay,
right.
I'm not spreading it, so as long as it's not me. But yeah, so the second episode was Revelations. The third episode was so sad.
Really?
Because it was almost like everyone that they were interviewing was just kind of saying like that John needs to wrap it up.
Wow.
And he won't. And I get it. Like, he got here because of his determination and his willingness, and I mean,
trying to...
it was everything. It was his brand. It was his franchise. Like, this was his business. He attacked this as a businessman. And that's why, one of the reasons why Bon Jovi was very successful. I mean, their music was great, but, I mean, were they really doing anything that different from everybody else back then? But he was pretty, and he had the drive, and, he was just persistent. He wasn't going to let anybody tell him no.
Yeah.
And I get that, and you need to have that. But, like, now, dude is what, like 60 some odd years old? I mean, you're John Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi was one of the biggest bands ever.
Yes.
Like, I mean, huge. They're in the record books. I mean, this is like, at least for another 100 years, people will know Bon Jovi.
Yeah, I think during the 80s,
right,
you have Def Leppard and Bon Jovi.
Right, like
are 1 and 2.
He solidified his spot in history,
right.
in music history, and then also with the philanthropy. And I mean, attitude, like I was never a big John Bon Jovi fan because, like I said, I knew stuff, and things I was hearing about on the inside, I'm just like, eh. But I just thought he was such a such fantastic human being because he really does care about other people and things, and like the Soul Kitchen, that like now they're trying to, they're trying to close the Soul Kitchen.
Saw that
in Red Bank. Are they crazy?
Well, it is Red Bank, so.
But it's what is it attracting? Because everybody that I know that goes to the Soul Kitchen in Red Bank is not going there for a free meal. Yeah. And the Soul Kitchen that is at Rutgers in Newark is a different ball game. Yeah. But yeah, everyone that I know that goes to Soul Kitchen in Red Bank is going there because they want to pay $100 or whatever they choose to pay for the meal that they have, because they're actually going there to donate and not actually receive free food. So Township of Red Bank needs to relax.
Like I said, it is Red Bank, though.
Yeah,
And that doesn't mean anything good or bad.
Red Bank.
It just means that there's red clay on the riverbank, and that's how it got its name, Red Bank.
The bank is red.
The bank is red.
Is it from? Oh, wow.
No, it's just because the red. It's just because the river is the red clay on the river bed.
Red Coal River.
Yeah, I mean that's about as much as I know about that town.
Oh my god!
But that's interesting that you say that about Bon Jovi. I mean, when Richie had his first solo album.
Oh yes.
I love that album from beginning to end, and it really took me on a path of, he really has a voice that is so powerful that I wish John would have let him sing more, not to take over or to be the star, but just to have more of a...
What's the name of the band?
The Richie Sambora
Bon Jovi.
Yes.
And it was Bon Jovi for a very long time.
Yeah.
It was John Bon Jovi for a very long time.
And before that, it was...
his band. No, well, it's his band. Meaning, like, it's...
Right.
Bon Jovi was John's band. Like,
but do you know the name of his first band?
Atlantic City Express?
Yes. Very good. I'm surprised that you knew that.
You scared me for a second. I'm like, what? Like,
I scare a lot of people. It's the way I look. I'm sorry. But yeah, I just, you know what it is? I loved Richie's...
What was the name of the band that Tico was in when they found him?
Oh, God. That I don't know. God, I forget the name of that band. But I love Tico's...
Frankie and the Knockouts.
Was it? See, I never knew that. I think Tico's an amazing drummer.
Oh my God, he was the hitman, Frank. But he's also the oldest guy in the band.
Wow, you had to bring that up.
No, because it mattered. Because this was like, they were very well. John, Richie, and Dave were like the young guys, and then you had Alec and Tico, who were like, grandpa,
a bit older.
They were the older guys in the band, and they were veterans. They had been playing for a long time and doing shit, so they had already, John and Richie wasn't too green, but John was green, Dave was green, and so they kind of looked up to him like he was like, Papa Bear.
There you go. And who was the drummer who almost made it
into Bon
Jovi? Oh. And it was a band we just mentioned before. Rob Affuso.
Oh, yes.
Almost in.
That's true. I forgot about that.
So the connection.
I didn't forget about Rob like that. I just forgot.
Yeah. And he's a great drummer too.
Oh, yeah.
It all depends upon the chemistry.
Oh, yeah.
And you could be the greatest drummer and the greatest singer. If you guys don't have the chemistry, it doesn't matter. Right. And you fall apart.
Or you can have way too much chemistry and then you get Fleetwood Mac. How that band managed to stay together as long as they did is amazing.
Yeah.
Everybody was having fun.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I think that's a tough situation when you have that many people with one another.
But, I mean, they were, poly. Well, they were, that was the 70s. And...
Yeah.
There's a lot of love, free love going on in the late 60s, early 70s.
Yes, and they took advantage of it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're, that Rumors album, I think is one of the greatest.
It's Stevie Nicks.
Yes.
I mean, who could be in a band with Stevie Nicks and not try to kick it?
Right, I agree. I mean, she's somebody who has such a powerful existence that her just being is an album unto its own. Like, she could just sit around and not really do much, and people will dance or praise her. And that's somebody who's influenced so many different generations of singers.
She hasn't created, but she's embodied a subculture. Like, she's never officially like admitted that she was witchy per se. Yeah. Maybe I think recently she might have kind of embraced it, but she encouraged this whole culture from that generation. I mean, starting 60s, 70s.
Right.
Just women getting back into the whole earthy, witchy. She talks about it. Crystal visions, and that's all. Hello, we hear you.
Yeah.
We hear you, Stevie.
Yeah, and I think it's important that she really, you talk about powerful women, and you talk about somebody like Stevie Nicks, but you also see somebody like Tina Turner,
right?
And Cher, who really kind of like handed it off to her or were part of that group.
Right. Well, there's always the predecessors, the people who paved the way for all of that kind of stuff. Definitely Tina Turner. Did you hear recently what Ike Jr. said about Tina?
Oh God, no.
Lord, did you?
No, I didn't.
He said that the reason why Ike used to haul off on Tina is because of her mouth.
Yeah.
Really?
That's definitely a reason to another.
Ridiculous. Okay, that's all right. That's why she did more than just talk.
Yeah. I mean, I recently saw an interview. This is going obviously before she passed, but they were interviewing her, and she said, I've been married to Ike for 10 years, and you keep asking me questions about him. I haven't been with him for 10 years. Why do you keep asking me these questions? And I thought that was really powerful, because she basically said,
my identity is not him.
Right.
And she reluctantly retained his last name in the divorce decree, because when you get divorced as a female, if you changed your name to their last name or whatever, and you get divorced, you have to ask permission to have your birth name back.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, fuck yes, dude.
I've never been married or divorced, so I don't know any of this.
I was born Kelly McLeod, and then I became Kelly Marone, and then I had to have a judge give me permission to be Kelly McLeod again.
You have to ask permission to get your original.
I can't just decide that I'm going to go back to my original name. Wow. When I get divorced, I have to have it in my head that I want to go back to my original name, because then I have to request that of the judge, and then he puts that in the decree that I can go back to my birth name, because I use that divorce decree now to give to everybody that any creditors, my bank, everything, and now I have to get my name changed back with all of them, and I have to make sure that I have this divorce decree from a judge saying that it's okay for me to be Kelly McLeod again.
That makes no sense.
Thank you.
I don't want to get political, but that's nonsense.
Well, that's not. It's not even politics. It's societal, and it's speaking of what we were talking about with the Tina, because she had to ask, and that was she didn't want anything. She didn't, all that money stuff. She just gave. She wanted a clean break, but reluctantly, the one thing that she wanted to keep was the name that he gave her, Tina Turner, because that was her brand. And with that name, she could go on and do things for herself. Right. Yeah, what was she, Ada Mae Brown? Ada Mae Brown. Like, I mean,
nobody's gonna nobody's gonna flock to see.
It is in the name,
Ida Mae. Right.
And that it wasn't just the fact that it was Turner. It was Tina Turner. Like, that was a whole new name, a whole new persona that was taken on by her. Cher, same thing. Cher was smart. Cher.
Yeah, not Sherilyn. Yeah.
Cher. No last name, just Cher.
Yep.
She'll always be Cher, no matter who she was married to. But she was married to a lot of dudes.
Remember the Bagel Boy in the 80s?
Yes.
I felt bad for that guy because she dated a guy who worked at a bagel shop.
Oh, he was cute. Rob Camilletti. Oh my God, I can't believe.
Oh my God, how do you remember his name? That's ridiculous. You have such a good memory.
But I can't remember what I did yesterday.
That's what happens.
Yes, Rob Camilletti. The reason why I know that is because Cher dated Richie Sambora. So yes. I did follow them a lot, and I had tons of articles and stuff like that. But yes, the Bagel Boy, Rob Camilletti. He was cute. He was cute, dude.
I mean, I don't really know the guy. I felt bad for him. I
remember his face.
I felt bad for him because every time, you know, she tried to, they would
don't just feel bad. Why would you feel bad? Rob wasn't feeling bad for Rob.
No, I mean, like, you know, because they called him the Bagel Boy.
They can call me whatever the fuck they want to call me. If you tag and share, they can call you whatever you want to call you. Who cares? Do you really think he cared? He probably got a car. She probably bought him a car. He had a license plate. Probably had Bagel Boy. He didn't give a shit. Are you kidding me?
Rob, I don't feel sorry for you now that
if you're around and you're seeing this, Rob, get in touch. We want to interview with you.
Yeah, we'd love to interview you. We'd love to have you on the show.
Because I was all about the Rob.
Yeah.
Good for you.
She was all about the Rob.
Shoot. You get some share action?
Jeez. Yeah, I mean,
anything beats Sonny Bono.
Yeah, I mean, well, you know. But yeah, well, if you did happen to watch the Golden Girls episode where they, you know, had the dream about that she was with Sonny Bono, and at the end I was like, I don't understand this at all, but whatever. So yeah.
I mean, and I like Sonny. I grew up with the Sonny and Cher show. I have nothing against Sonny. I just don't think that they were.
Yeah, I never got it either.
You know, sometimes women, you know, we've been known to do things not in our best interest all the time. And I'm like, again, they had a great run. I was too young to understand their personal romantic dynamic. I have no idea what their relationship was rumored to be like. And just
to reveal Kelly's age, she's 21. Yeah.
25.
25.
Yeah, but I try not to judge people's relationships, but I couldn't figure that one out. Even when I was a kid, I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it was Cher, for Christ's sake. Nobody was good enough for her. She's a goddess.
Yes. And she should be treated as such.
It's Cher.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, like about the bodyguard, that no one can replace Whitney. Like, you know, some people just can't.
Right.
You can't mess with.
Just leave it alone. We don't need to see every movie remade, redone, rehashed, whatever. Leave it alone. Right? The Bodyguard.
I would redo The Bodyguard as a comedy musical.
Oh, that's interesting. So, if you had like I'm trying to think of a comedy musical. The only thing like a Rocky Horror Picture Show, Sister Act kind of vibe-ish. You know, that's the only thing I could think of. But
it depends on whose body you're guarding, though.
For the woman.
No, but see, if you're going to do it as a comedy
musical,
so you're not going to be serious, so you're not going to be trying to find someone
that's
going to be like a Whitney Houston. So you need an Aquafina.
The water?
No.
Oh, the girl. Yes. Oh, okay. Aquafina. I'm sorry. Yes. She would actually be pretty funny. That's actually not a bad idea.
That's my girl.
Yeah, no, she's funny. I like her.
She can do anything. I could definitely see her doing that.
And who would the guy be? The guy should be Pierce Brosnan.
Daniel Craig.
Because
Daniel Craig, forget about the 007 stuff. I just wasn't feeling him with that. There's only one 007 for me, but I digress. Daniel Craig's best role ever was uncredited.
Really?
Do you know where I'm going?
No, I don't.
Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Oh, Jesus, yes.
You know the scene?
Yeah, somebody said this the other day to me.
In the chair. Kylo Ren's got her trapped, in this torture chair or
Right.
whatever. He's trying to get in her brain. So the stormtrooper walks in, and she's like, "You're gonna unleash my restraints." And he's like, "I'm not gonna do anything, you rebel scum." And she's like, and she says it again. And he goes, "Oh, I'm gonna release your restraints." And then so he's about to walk out the door. She goes, "And you'll drop your weapon." Right. He goes, "And I'll drop my weapon." And it's the way he does it. "And I'll drop my weapon." Now, story behind that, he was not even supposed to be doing that. Like, he was at that studio while they were filming this, doing something else.
Sure.
And so, obviously, what's going on in here?
Yeah.
Oh, Star Wars? Yeah. I mean, I would have been like, "No!"
Yeah.
So, I guess he ended up talking somebody, Abrams or whatever, it's letting him be in, and they gave him a little walk-on part.
Oh, that's so cool.
All right, you'll just go be Stormtrooper number 3.
Yeah.
And that's what he did, and it was great. And it was the funniest scene ever. Just and I'll drop my weapon.
And I'll drop
my weapon.
That's
but Star Wars is good for that.
Yeah.
There's another scene. Episode 4. New Hope.
New Hope. Okay.
I don't know how I never, ever noticed this until with the stormtrooper clink hitting his head. Yeah, it's the scene where they are in the prison. They're going to get Princess Leia, and the droids are in the room, and they come in, and the stormtrooper walks in, and he hits his head on the door.
Yeah,
and it's very clear and audible. Clink. And now that I've seen it, I can't unsee it, and I wait for that scene to come up, and I just keep rewinding it because you can audibly, like the set back then. I mean, we're talking what, 75?
Yeah.
So all those little teeny tiny sounds that you're hearing, there was a sound guy there that was making sure you either heard that or they were adding things in there to amplify it. So somebody had enough sense of humor that when they passed it in, that he either left it in or amplified it so that you can hear that shit go.
Hey, listen, Bob just smashed his head. Let's leave the sound in there.
But it's just poetic because the stormtroopers can't shoot for shit. So, like, it just made sense that they would just be clumsy and klutzy because they're the worst shots in the galaxy. So it's just like hilarious. Like, how did you not pick up on this all the time? It's like right there in your face.
Yeah. Some people just, they don't, and I don't know if he was in A New Hope or Empire Strikes Back, but Cliff from Cheers was in Empire Strikes Back.
Right, yes.
Yeah, John Ransom.
Yes.
Yeah, which somebody had mentioned it to it, and I went back and watched it.
I think it was New Hope.
Yeah.
He was flying X-Wing.
Yeah, you know who they should have had, though?
Porkins.
They should have had Norm. Oh, see, I think that was a mistake.
Norm should have played Porkins.
Yeah, I think Norm...
Stay on target.
Right. Like, he walks in, and everybody just goes, Norm! And they all buy him the sloth or whatever they call the drink there. And
I think Star Wars winded up... It was enough. Because now everybody's been in Star Wars.
Yeah.
A Star Wars flick or something.
Right,
or, the cartoons.
The different universes, the different, the Christmas special, which is ridiculous. But
everybody's a Jawa.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's got to get a part in there. And, you just,
Samuel L. Jackson is trying to make a comeback because he's like, look, people fall, Jedis and Sith fall.
Right.
From like big wolf all the time, and then they show up in the next episode.
Right,
like,
exactly.
So he's like, "Where's Mace? Mace is coming
back." Why am I not in
y'all
here?
Did not see him die. You just saw him fall out the window.
Right. Which is what they're doing with.
Right. He can come back.
Yeah, with what they're doing with Young Guns 3.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Wait. What are you talking about?
Young Guns 3.
What are you talking about?
Young Guns 3.
What are they doing? Who's coming back?
So it's Emilio Estevez.
He's like 177 years.
And it's Lou Diamond Phillips.
So is he.
And Christian
You can't
Slater.
kill Val.
No,
he wasn't in that. Why am I thinking that? He was in the other one, Tombstone.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah. So, and I'm friendly with a guy who wrote the first two, John Fusco, who is amazing. And now they've written the third one, and they're going to film it in New Mexico in the fall.
New Mexico?
Yeah. And
they're old now. So they're trying to say that what's his name? Billy the Kid
never died.
He did not, but I believe that before too.
Well, I mean,
they said that he died in like what 1920.
Yeah.
Or something.
Which I agree. I think you know, what was his name?
Around the time that Wyatt Earp died.
Yeah. So you know, I agree.
I think he was still alive.
I think so too.
Because they didn't have the internet and they didn't have DNA back then. They didn't have a lot of stuff back then. So how do we really know?
Right.
Bill Barney, he didn't live to be an old dude. He probably did.
He did. I think he did. Brushy Bill Roberts was one of his names. Yes. And William H. Bonney was the other one that everybody knows.
I said Billy the Kid. Bonnie.
Or Barney. Barney Rubble. It all comes back to the Flintstones.
It's just
quite honestly.
Honeymooners.
Yeah. Honeymooners, but cartoon form. Yeah, but I think, you know, I think John does an amazing job with his writing. So it should be interesting. I mean, he wrote Highwaymen, which had Woody Harrelson and oh God, I'm blanking on his name. The guy from Field of Dreams, Kevin Costner, which was a great movie. It's about Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh.
So
let's talk about Woody Harrelson for a second.
Go ahead.
So, I don't know if you're familiar. Did you ever read Matthew McConaughey's book?
No.
Green Lights.
No.
Anyone's ever read Green Lights out there? You know where I'm going with this one, with the Woody Harrelson. So, rumor has it that.
Uh-oh.
And it's not my rumor. I'm not spreading this rumor. Matthew McConaughey spread this rumor, so I can repeat it because this is his stuff, not me. So apparently, Matthew McConaughey, his parents had a falling out before he was born. They weren't, you know, they were in bad times or whatever. And so apparently Matthew McConaughey's mom was actually friends intimately at some point with Woody Harrelson's dad.
Oh my God, are you serious?
And Matthew McConaughey always feels like he didn't look like the rest of his siblings.
Oh my God.
And he thinks that Woody Harrelson's dad is actually his dad.
Wow.
And there is a very strong possibility that is the case. And he said that they were going to do a DNA test, but he wanted to wait because when it came back, he was going to have to wrap his head around the fact that his dad that he grew up with wasn't his dad.
Oh my God.
But then his parents ended up getting back together and remarried, so they just, you know. So, but he's the youngest, so like, he's like, I don't look like my siblings. And if you look at him, he does look like Woody Harrelson, and I used to confuse them all the time.
Yes, he does. You're right.
And so now, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a lot of commercials going on now. They do a commercial together,
right.
And Woody Harrelson's like, "Hey, how you doing, bro? What's going, bro?" I'm like, I think they got the results of a DNA test. I think they might actually be siblings. I really do, and I think you know what? I think that's freaking cool. People need to get over all of this. I don't know. Like, I just think DNA is so cool. We didn't have this shit back in the day.
No.
Like, if we had this for all, like, the royal families back in the day, so many ascensions wouldn't have happened.
Nope.
Because they were like, you know,
we gotta keep it in the blood.
The soldiers' kids, you know, because, like, the queen was like, oh, he's boring.
Right.
Hey, field hand, what are you doing over there?
Right.
You know? Stable boy. Bagel boy.
Bagel boy. That's what happened.
That's why I wasn't hating on Cher.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta go, you know, you know, sometimes they ain't cutting it.
Yeah. The bagels were very good.
The bagels were good.
Apparently, and Cher loved them.
They can make some bagels, yeah.
Yeah, I had a DNA test done a couple of years ago, and it turned out
you were human.
And it turned out I was human, but I was also related to C3PO.
What?
Yeah.
Not Chewie?
No. Even though we're both very hairy.
Oh my God.
I know. I was surprised.
You had to be so disappointed.
I was so disappointed.
But they live a long time too.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm 300 years old, and he's got a lot of wires and an English accent.
Yeah, but they shut him off. All the time.
Yeah, but people
like now.
Oh, welcome back. That's why there's an on-off switch on me, because I'll keep going and then it's not good for anybody. It's because I'm old and I'll just fall over and drool.
Oh, God.
Oh, my goodness. So let's make a wish. If we had to bring in a band that would be the first band that we would have on the show, who do you think we should wish for to bring onto the show?
I would. Gotta move this out.
Yeah, let's move this out of the way.
I would pray to the magic genie of the lamp. Please get us New Jersey's next best up and coming band that is hitting the scene so hard and so powerful. They can only be seen in Ultraviolet.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that. Yeah.
Yes, Ultraviolet is the band that is going to be our very first interview here at the Lotus Lounge.
We're very, very excited to have them.
I think we actually had that interview with Ultraviolet at the Lotus Lounge.
Yes, we did.
And they actually did some songs for us, too. I think everybody will be interested in singing that.
Yes, I think you should check that out right now.
Trap. I never thought I'd see you snap. You made me feel so weak. One mess up and you'd freak. Oh, the attraction felt so real. My mind's not yours to mess with or steal. Wanted my soul redesigned, 'cause you made me so blind. intention you kept concealed. Whoa, no longer can trust. Only was used for your lust. Drown in my heart, you tried to. To mess with or steal. What I felt you'll never feel. Manipulation was not a part of our deal. Whoa, no longer can trust. Only was used for your lust. Drown in my heart, you tried to rust. Can't feel nothing, nothing at all. Made sure I couldn't recall. Wonder what lies on the other side of this wall. Guess I'll never know. Gave no room to grow. Made me feel so alone, as if you were my only home. You gave me no choice. Only song I knew was your voice. In the locked room, stuck with no door. Took care of me as if I was a chore. Wonder what lies out in this world. Guess I'll never know, 'cause I've been shoved so low. Made me feel so alone, as if you were my only home. You gave me no choice. Only song
with music.
What are we here with, Mike?
We are here with Ultraviolet, which is an ultra amazing band that everybody needs to check out. So why don't you, ladies and gentlemen, tell us a little bit about yourselves, how you got started, and we'll take it from there.
You got that one.
Yeah, okay. My name is Cooper. I play the drums.
Oh, hold on a second. I'm sorry, Cooper. Why not have everybody introduce themselves?
Yes.
Starting with you. You're Melissa Etheridge.
Close.
Oh!
Good try. My name is Shannon Meeks. I'm 17 years old, and I play bass in Ultraviolet. I'm Ashley Silva. I'm 16, and I play guitar.
My name is Cooper Hughes. I am 17 and I play the drums.
Hi, my name is Kelli McLeod, and I'm not in Ultraviolet.
My hair is.
Hi, I'm Mike. I have a really fat head that looks like a Macy's Day float balloon.
Phenomenal.
Yes.
I'm Miranda. I'm 20, and I'm the singer in Ultraviolet.
Okay.
Awesome.
Cooper, go ahead.
Yes. Me and Ashley first met at the venue Dingbats in Clifton, New Jersey. It's been our home venue. We've played there a number of times. And we started Ultraviolet. It was me, her, and our old singer. And then around January of last year, we met Miranda, and she joined us. And then in, I guess, March of this year, the first day of March actually, we met Shannon, because unfortunately our other bassist departed from the band. And that is how all of us met. And, you know, we've been honing in on our craft, and we've been using our different influences to create the Ultraviolet sound, which is, you know, a mix of nu metal and 80s hair metal and grunge, and also a build of alt rock and nu metal. But that's how we started.
Terrific. Now, where did you meet Miranda? By the way, it was an amazing, powerful voice. Well, how did you meet her?
Yes, so when our other singer left, we were auditioning, and we had tried a few people out, but we couldn't find someone that really fit the band. And then, you know, we met Miranda online, and she reached out to us, and we set up an audition, and it went great. And funny enough, our first show was in Nashville with her. You know, a bit nerve-wracking having to go all the way down there.
Hey, welcome to the band. So we're playing Nashville. When you're ready for that one.
Yeah.
Nothing, no pressure, no pressure.
So your influences are nu metal.
Yeah, so the music I listen to mostly is like nu metal, metal, hardcore, all that stuff, but I have a very bipolar music taste, so it really is all over the place.
Tell us about this bipolar.
Oh my
music
gosh.
taste.
It literally can go from like Slipknot to like Britney Spears to like some sort of like lo-fi beat to like, I don't know, Baby Shark. Like, I don't know. Like, it literally goes everywhere.
And who does most of the writing in the band?
I
think it's
think
a joint
all of us.
venture, really.
Yeah.
So it's an Ultraviolet experience. We all sit together and write.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sweet.
I feel like usually it's one of us or like, hey, I wrote this thing or I like wrote this little riff, like, let me know what you think. And we'll like send it to each other and then we'll go to practice and then we're like, oh, do you want to work on it? And we'll work on it. And then we just like build off of each other's ideas, which I think is really cool because when you have other like-minded musicians, it makes the writing process so much easier. Because like sometimes, you know, you're stuck. You're like, okay, this is a really great chorus or a really great verse. I don't know what to do now. So like when I bring something to them, they can just build off of it, and it's amazing.
Now, how did you meet the bass player? You play bass?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how did you meet the bass player?
Okay,
Bass player.
I'll go again. Yeah. So we had played this place called the Rock Shack in Somerville, which
Shout
is
out.
also Cameron. Whichever Cameron.
Right, right.
Yeah, it's run by this guy
Wait a
John.
minute, hold on a second.
Yes.
There's cameras? You didn't tell me there was cameras.
Well, stop
I
looking
see
at
two.
them.
I'm sorry. Okay. I just want to make sure.
They're not supposed to be here.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
It's good. Yeah, so John runs the place. He does an amazing job with it. But so we played. Pretty sure it was actually 2 shows with Shannon's other band, Scylla, and I guess we could say we kind of scouted her because when our other bassist left, and we were looking for someone, and I think she was pretty much the first person that came to everyone's mind.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, we need to
Good
steal
minds,
her.
good
We
minds, good minds.
need to take her for a little while.
Now, how long
Forever.
have you been playing for?
Yeah, that's a good question. I want to know
Yeah.
how long you, because
Right.
you guys are like just born. So I want to know how, early in the womb you guys started playing.
So, I've been playing bass for about 6 years, but I started playing piano when I was like 6 years old. And then I played until I was probably like 8 or 9. And then my sister joined this program called School of Rock as a drummer, and I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. And I just kind of like watched her like grow up a little bit and like just like join a rock band, and I was like, that's literally the coolest thing ever. And I remember going to one of her shows and I saw this girl playing bass, and she had like short jet black hair, and it was just like, I just had this moment of like, oh,
That's what I want to do.
that's what I want to do. Like, Mom, I need to quit taking piano lessons. I need to do this instead.
And I do have some video of one of you guys' last shows, so I will definitely make sure to post some videos because the presence is insane. We were talking about it earlier. Like, you guys definitely have developed your own style, which I find amazing. Like I said, you're not up there with a gimmick. You're not trying to, you're just up there being musicians, and it's raw, and the talent is insane. It's crazy. I get goosebumps every time I see that. It's like, oh my god, the little baby. I'm like a proud mama, and I'm not even your mom. I'm having a hot flash already, just thinking about it already. If you have not catch these guys live, you need to figure out when they're playing. Go see them. Hopefully, they'll be on a tour soon. I'm trying to hook them up with somebody so that they can get out of here and rock the planet.
Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon.
So now that you've kind of gotten together and you've formed this thing, what are the next steps? Are you guys looking to write more songs? Are you looking to record? Are you looking to do more touring? What's kind of the next steps?
Honestly, all of the above. I feel, I mean, I know for me, I want to go on tour so bad. I feel like I bring it up every week. I'm like, hey, so when can we do a summer tour again? I'm like, even if it's like literally just 3 days, like,
Where we go?
I just want to travel and play shows and
Right.
record and write music and all of the above. And I'm pretty sure Cooper feels the same way.
Yeah, it's a fun mix of stuff because we're always writing whenever we can. We're practicing whenever we can because we want to get better. We want the time to write.
That's important.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most important part because the practice to me is always the show.
Mm-hmm.
That's the show. If you can get everything in the show, you could just kind of let loose.
But if you have nothing to offer, the show is pointless.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of what we did for the last few practices because we have been participating in the Bach and Metal Battle, which I can explain in a
Yes,
second.
please
Yeah,
explain
please
that
talk
because
about
that was
that.
our next question.
Yeah, but what I was going to say first was we've been setting up Ashley's basement to kind of mimic the Dingbats stage. So, we have monitors in front, everyone in front of me because I have the drum set in the back. And we've just been, rehearsing we played I guess you could call it a little game is we did a song and throughout the song Miranda would yell switch or just some code
Any
word.
random word.
Yeah, and they would have to switch sides of the stage, to get everyone moving a bit.
Oh, nice. That's a good idea. I like that. Yeah.
Drill.
Yeah.
Like Beckers when they play tennis, they just switching.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I thought it would be a good idea just to get everyone active, and I definitely had fun just watching them struggle to
It was really
jump over
fun,
each other's
just
chords.
seeing them get kind of tangled behind me, and then they're like, oh, okay, and then they back.
Yeah.
Well, now, how did you feel about that, having to switch at that moment? Were you guys comfortable with it, or were you just having fun?
You get used to it after a bit. Like, I'm normally the person who doesn't move much on the stage, but I'm getting better at it. But, that really helps because you get more comfortable and, used to it.
Good.
You don't develop your own little zone. Like, I'm just stay over here in my corner forever. I'm just stay here.
Right.
Now, I have a question. So, I've seen other bands do this. Do you guys play other instruments to where, you guys can switch instruments with each other?
Oh, that's a
at
good
some
question.
point?
I was going to ask that, yes.
stealing off of some people, but like, I mean, you know, you guys are like younger, so like you can really pull it off really good. I think like just switch instruments. Just as a, even if you play the cover, just like, oh, watch this, and somebody switches, like, wait, is the singer on the drums? What's she doing? You know, or stuff.
I play bass and guitar.
Oh well, then there you go.
As well. And
you sing over here. Anybody sing? I know you sing. Yeah. Any drummers?
I don't
No,
play drums.
you have to teach some drums.
That means I don't have to be worried about anyone taking my spot.
Yeah. So you were
No
saying if
competition.
you...
I was gonna say, if you come to an Ultraviolet show, you can see me playing bass with Shannon.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
that happened.
We have a dual bass moment. Dual
Oh,
person
my goodness.
on
Yeah.
the bass.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the right hand.
There was a band
I am
that
the
had
left hand.
multiple bass players, and they were called Spinal Tap. But their amplifiers went to 11. I don't know what yours go to. So, but that's really great that you play bass and you can intertwine and you do. How long have you been doing that for on stage?
Ooh. Well, funny thing is, we started it with our original bass player. Her name was also Shannon. And
So now you really have to worry about the name.
I thought it was fitting. I was like, hey,
Yeah.
I miss doing this. This was such a fun aspect to add to the show.
Right.
Why not? It's like a little moment we get to share and have together, and it's like a little spotlight thing, and it's cool. It's cool to watch. And it's fun to do.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're having fun, that's really all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
All right, so tell us about this whacking competition, because this is big. I mean, what's going on? You guys have made it to the
East Coast Finals.
East Coast
Yeah,
Finals
so
now. Sweet.
What it is
Yes.
Uh,
there you go.
so what it is basically it's a huge metal battle with a bunch of different bands all over the states and then eventually all over the country, which I'll explain as well. But we made it. We are in the third round now, which is the East Coast Finals. So we made it past New Jersey Finals and New Jersey qualifiers, I guess is what it was. And both of those shows have been some of our best shows. So if you are available, May 17th is the East Coast Finals. I highly suggest coming to that one. I
And
know
where
I'm
is
kind
it?
of biased, but it's at Dingbats in Clifton. All the rounds are actually at Dingbats. We were lucky enough to have that as the home venue this year, because usually it's in California
Oh,
or
wow.
Florida,
Okay.
I think maybe one year. But
Right.
So Dingbats is the whole. Wow.
yeah, so everything.
I don't look at me. I have no-
Weekend.
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah,
are
I mean that just seems to work out in your favor.
Yeah, but it's been awesome. And then so there's there's
That's all right.
East
We
Coast
all,
Finals.
I'm going through puberty
Yeah.
myself.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm at the brink of it.
Yeah.
I think I'm about to reach the hump, but
Yeah.
He's doing
I'm
reverse.
sorry, I just saw Ashley go.
He's
Yeah, that
actually
happens a
doing
lot.
reverse puberty though. He's Benjamin Button.
I was
like,
just gonna
I
say
think
that.
There's some diapers
That's
over
crazy.
there.
Yes, I've used
Oh
them
my
all.
Are you
God.
good though? You don't have to change.
Not real in about 10 minutes. I'm not going to be too long.
Well, I'll make it quick then.
Yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, so this is East Coast Finals, and then this time it's only one band out of the 6 bands go to the U.S. Finals,
Oh, wow.
which is also at Dingbats.
Really? So the
Yes.
whole thing's there?
Yeah, it is. It is. And so the coolest part about it, in my opinion, is the winner of that goes to the Wacken Festival in Germany, and they don't only get to play, they get to play for their country. So basically, you are going, so if we were
As a
to win the
representative
U.S.
of the
one,
US.
then we'd represent the U.S. and we'd be going against Spain, Germany, Switzerland, Austria, all these other countries. Which I think is insane to think if you were to win it, you get to represent your entire country. So that's what we're striving for. But I think this opportunity has been amazing for all of us. And we've grown so much just because, we have the judges there who are, of course, they can't tell us like what we did wrong and stuff,
Right.
but we get to look back and see what we did right and what we did wrong, like their bass moment, everyone kind of seems to like that, so we keep doing it.
Good.
But
How
yeah.
do they? Who are the judges? Are they local musicians? Are they?
It's a mix of people. So like last round there was Steve Zing of Danzig.
Okay.
Keith, I can't remember how to pronounce his last name, so I won't, just in case I embarrass myself. But Keith, you know who you are. who works.
We'll just say Moon. Keith Moon.
Sure, yeah, and he
Two
works
last
at
names.
Sumerian Records.
Okay.
And there's a few other judges, but they alternate. So we didn't have the same judge for the first or second round. We might for the third round. You know, we'll see.
Now, what do they judge? Do they judge on the songs? Do they judge on how you guys connect together and how it works with the crowd? Or?
I think it's a mix of stuff. It's mostly because they don't want to see a band that's just going to play the songs because they're going to be playing on a huge stage if they go to the finals. So they want a band that can perform, a band that can have the crowd engaged because that's one of the most important parts of music is making sure people, are engaging with you and enjoying the song.
Yes,
Songwriting as well. They want to see if you're a versatile band, if you can work with fast songs, slow songs, all that kind of fun stuff. I feel like there's one other, but that's pretty much the premise of it.
So if you guys do this thing on May 17th and you win, right, what is the next step? Do you play the festival or?
Next step would be the U.S. finals, which is in June. Yeah.
Okay. So it's I got it. Okay.
Yeah. So this
Still,
round
I think
is,
that stuff.
Yeah. It is. Okay. So this one is
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Jersey, New York, and Baltimore. So 2 from each state. And then the finals is the 2 from Jersey, or 1 from Jersey that got first place on April 4th, which was the last round.
Okay.
And then the 1 from May 17th. And then there's some from California, Florida, Texas, I think, has a group. It's all kind of mixed. I don't know the exact groupings of everything. But, yeah, it's just a big...
Now, when is the Wacken show?
The Germany one?
Wacken show.
It's, the festival is July 30th, I think, to August 2nd. So, it's a few months away. I don't know how many months that is exactly. But,
That would be amazing if you guys made it.
Oh, yeah.
I am hoping and praying all of the gods above and below because
And below, that's important.
all
Yes.
of them. Gotta have all the luck.
Yes, I agree.
But yeah, no, it'd be sick.
yeah.
Play a stage that big.
Yeah.
Now, what's the biggest stage? I mean, not necessarily as a band, but what's the biggest audience that you played? Anybody play to a pretty decent sized audience before?
Maybe the first Stone Pony show we had, I think it was like 500 people.
Stone Pony played the pony?
Yeah. That place was packed when I look back on the Instagram. I wasn't there. I was there! But, when I do my monthly Ultraviolet stalking, and I will see that, I'm like, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, that was our first ever show. That was December 23, I guess, because it's 25 right now. Yeah, we sold about 204 tickets, give or take.
Wow.
So it was a packed house, and it was definitely a fun show to start out the Ultraviolet career, I guess you could say. But yeah, that was a pretty cool show.
Who are some of the bands that you guys have played with or opened for or supported?
Or you want to?
Oh, good question. Or you want to?
Who's that band that you're just like, please, I just want to play with them?
Well, I have 2 bands to mention. I'll let you talk about Plush if you want to talk about Plush.
You talk about yours first.
But Forever May Fall. I didn't know who they were, but we opened for them at Debonair. They're from North Carolina, right? I am obsessed with them. They're literally like the sweetest people ever. I think they have a bigger following in North Carolina, but like they're awesome. And then we opened for Plush in Connecticut, which was insane.
Wow.
And I didn't start like listening to them and like finding out more about them until after we played with them. But they are amazing.
That's great. Plush is a great band.
Now, question, because this has happened to me, being in a band that opened up for, like, well, they weren't as big as Plush, but one of the members was in Cinderella, so, like, and it was the bass player from Cinderella, Eric Brittingham, and I'm like, oh my god, we're opening for Eric Brittingham's band, I can't believe it! And so I showed up at the venue, and he's sitting at the bar, and I'm like, oh my god, it's him, and he's like, oh, are you lead singer of Dead Lilith? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh, we listened to your stuff. It's really good. You listened to my stuff before again. Has that anything similar? Have you guys had someone that maybe...
I think. I don't know. Do you have anyone?
No, I mean, we've opened for a lot of cool people, in my
Yeah.
opinion. We did Ted Foley
Oh yeah.
in, I think that was December, which, I mean, I'm a good friend of Ted.
Well,
He's an amazing guy.
He knows your stuff.
We opened for Metal Mike.
Mm-hmm.
That was an amazing show, too. I mean, he's a beast on guitar.
Yeah.
There's definitely, Madame Mayhem we opened for recently. That was a really
that
fun
was a
show,
great
too.
show.
Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was a really good show.
Do you know any others?
No.
Not at all.
How about you? Any interesting stories about just getting together and touring and some of these? Because I know you mentioned that you want to do some more touring. How does it work? I mean, do you guys get in a van together, or you take a train, or whatever?
Like, I'm gonna get my plane ticket. You can drive there.
I
I'll
always
see
wanted
when we
to
get
know.
there.
Yeah, we drive. Ashley
Okay.
hogs the
We go
back
together.
seat as a shorter person than me while I'm crunched in the middle, and I'm just laying in the back seat, and I'm awake for 13 hours.
Oh
like
my
this.
goodness.
The whole time. But it's okay.
And Shannon, what is your take on the traveling? Do they tie on the roof? I mean, you guys are in the back seat. Are you driving?
No, I go with my parents. I'm
Okay.
very lucky to have parents that will drive me so many miles to all these different shows.
They're not letting you out of their sight, young lady.
Yes.
Yeah, because a lot of the shows are, like pretty far. I mean, like 45 minutes to an hour, but I'm definitely grateful to have them driving me. But I've had a couple experiences of like having to fly with my bass and having to like go to different states, which is like super fun.
Yeah.
And also just like I think a good experience to have now, so I'm like comfortable with getting on a plane with an instrument because it's definitely really scary the first couple times.
It is. Yeah, I took my tuba.
Now, did you give
Somewhere
a
and it was
Valium
awful.
to your bass?
A what?
A Valium to your bass for the flight?
She has no idea what a Valium is.
Oh, that's a Xanax.
Oh.
Xanax. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I was speaking the wrong language. My age is showing. It's showing.
Yeah. So when I was younger and the dinosaurs roamed the earth, there used to be this thing, Valium. That you would
Valium.
take
That
and it
was
would
your nerves
knock you
were
out.
like, oh, I
Yeah.
need a Valium
I would
right
need
now.
that more than my bass. I was like sitting on the flight the whole time, like, so brave, please.
You can crash, but just don't.
Yeah, you can crash. I don't care what happens, just as long as the bass is on.
Yeah.
They're gonna put the black box in your bass. So this way.
Waiting
they
at
have
the
all
conveyor
information.
belt.
Yeah.
Like, don't you touch that.
Yeah.
That's really interesting though. So the more touring, you guys have opened up for some great bands, and obviously how do you say it? The Vakken?
Vakken, yeah.
Vakken. It's
Spelled like
Vakken.
whacking,
Vakken
but-
open air.
That was perfect.
What size is the crowd at those festivals?
Go on
Like,
YouTube and
massive.
just look up
Yeah.
Vakken.
Any
I don't have
It
a
massive music
It
festival.
is the Coachella of Vakken.
Mhm. Yeah. Good way to put
So
it.
there's like 9 or 10 people?
It's massive. It's massive. You're there and it's like,
Multiply it by like 10,000.
Okay.
Probably.
Yeah.
you might as well be Queen,
So there's
doing like
like-
We Are the Champions
so
there or
there's-
something. It's massive.
So
You
there's
see
like
these videos
200,000, 100,000 people,
I think
80,000?
probably 80 to 100,000 maybe.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's
it,
amazing.
It would be an awesome.
It's at the point where the band is playing and you're in the back and the sound is like delayed 3 minutes. The
Mhm.
song is already over and you're still back there like, yeah!
Yeah.
It's huge. It's huge.
I'm sorry.
It's huge.
I didn't mean to offend anybody, but
They are they are destined for greatness.
I
right
agree.
now. Mike does not realize the magnitude of the greatness of the moment that we're having right now, that we're sitting here with you guys. Because, when you do go off and become famous, Mike is going to be trying to convince everybody in the world, like, I'm telling you, I had them do the interview. Kelli, tell him.
And this is just me and myself in a padded room saying that over and over. The nurse is going to be
nursing
like,
home.
we need to whack him that Valium that Kelly said. We need to whack him with 10 cc's of that.
He keeps talking about whacking and Valiums. I don't know.
Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm going to need. So the influences that you have, is there an influence that you try to bring into your songwriting? So if you're into hair metal, right? Let's say you listen to Ted Poley, right? From Danger Danger, by the way, whose mom decorated my parents' living room.
There it is.
But so if you're getting that idea and you're into a different kind of music, even though you're open to more music, how do you approach that to say, I want to bring this idea, what do you think? Do you bring it in as kind of like a hair metal thing, or you just bring it in more as a feeling?
I personally like to write to the parts that I'm given. So, for example, a lot of the times it'll be a guitar riff or a vocal line that comes up, and I'll write something off of that, or if I'm feeling like it, I'll add a drum solo. I already have one in one of the songs. Two, actually, soon to be, but...
Yay for drummers with the drum solos.
But, yeah, I mean, I get a lot of my influence from that stuff. Robert Fuso of Skid Row, Stephen Sweet of Warren, all those guys, who I've also been lucky enough to meet. And I did a drum lesson with Robert Fuso once, so that gave me a lot of inspiration. But I use, whenever I listen to their kind of music and I, engrave it in my brain, even if it comes out as 80s hair metal, it'll eventually mold into what we want it to be, if that makes sense. So, and she gets her influence from Alice in Chains, I'm pretty sure.
I was just going to ask, where's the influence coming
A lot
from?
of grunge, Pearl Jam.
A lot of grunge, Pearl Jam?
I listen to everything really, but if I had like my top would be grunge because of my dad.
Mhm.
He wants me to give him credit.
I don't know anything. I didn't do anything.
So Alice in Chains.
Alice in Chains.
And I think we can hear that in some of your songs, where it's very melodic, and you guys do a great job in combining the rhythm section and then putting your guitar, and your vocals sound amazing over it. How long does it take you to really put together a song and say, okay, the song is done? Is it a couple weeks? Is it almost instantly? I mean, you have the chemistry, so it seems like it comes along pretty quickly.
I feel like we have like the base of it down by like the end of a practice. If we spend like the first 30 minutes to an hour like rehearsing, and then we're like, okay, we're gonna work on this. We have like the basis down, and then the practices after that we're like just tweaking little things and like perfecting it.
Okay.
I'd say it's a fairly quick process.
Yeah, it depends on the song too.
Yeah, it does
definitely.
depend a lot
Like,
on the song.
the first two singles we released, Slap and Rust, those had probably been written for about 6 months until they had been finalized. But songs now like Don't Go and Alone, Don't Go, I think we pretty much nailed down most of it in one practice, and I don't think it's really changed since then. Granted, Shannon's added her awesome bass parts to it, so.
Put myself in there.
But yeah, it really depends on, this, I guess you could say the speed, the tempo, the style we're going for, because, not every song is going to sound the same, so not every song is going to take the same amount of time.
Now, is it easier to start, you were saying with the guitars, is it easier to start with a guitar and then you come in and you have some vocal ideas and then you're working with Cooper, kind of getting everything together? Is there any other way that you do it? You might have some lyrics and they'll say, well, we'll write around it. Has that ever happened?
I feel like, it's normally like either vocals or guitar that has like the main idea.
Yeah.
And then everybody like puts their own input into it and like does their own part like that. But like she'll come in with like lyrics and the guitar sometimes I'll come in with like lyrics and guitar, like it's just everyone kind of messes around
I feel
with everything.
like, I'm just realizing this, I feel like we switch off. There's like a good chunk where you're like, I have lyrics and guitar parts, here you go. And then now I'm in my zone of, I have lyrics, I have guitar parts, go. And I feel like within the next few months we're going to swap, and it's going to keep going like that. Great.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Would you guys ever consider possibly bringing in a tuba player?
Yeah.
Because I think that
Probably,
never know.
honestly, we've been looking.
I know plenty of tuba players who could really give a good punch to the band. I don't really know them so much as, like, I'm not allowed near their house anymore.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
Yes, he has an active restraining order.
mail? Are you allowed to mail them? Mail.
Are they male?
No.
Oh.
Send them mail, not mail them.
Oh.
Don't mail them.
I'm
Send
not gonna.
them mail.
I don't think I can mail a tuba player. 'Cause the postage alone
You know,
is several $1,000s.
Yeah, that's pretty heavy. It's
Yeah.
gonna be.
Well, so are most of the tuba players. Have you seen them? They're enormous.
I was just talking about the tuba.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the tuba's like
tuba
4 or
player?
5.
It's not a tuba.
The U-tuber
Not a
players.
tuba.
Yeah. Good Lord Almighty.
I think I just had a stroke.
I've had several. I've had several strokes at this point. Good God. Do you have any other questions for this wonderful band? I think we got everything.
Squeeze everything out of these wonderful little peachy kids. That's how they kind of.
That's a good way to put it.
Like,
Yeah, right.
like, oh, the little children, yes,
It was giving
gotta put
like.
them in my oven and
Yep,
cook them.
yep, that's what it was giving.
Come, would you follow my breadcrumbs?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Well, we wanted to start our first podcast with you guys in mind.
Yes,
Because
indeed.
we've seen you many times, and we just think you're amazing. We think you have the energy, we think you have the spirit, the hard work. No tuba player, but that's okay. But I think you guys are really going to be something big. And, you know, it's just, you guys are young enough, it's just fun. And if you're not having fun, what the hell's the point? So, from the bottom of my heart, which is somewhere in this area, I think, thank you so much for being part of this and being our first guest. We're very happy that you're here, and we're happy that this is in Kelli's magic place.
This is in the Lotus Lounge, and you will be seeing a lot more special artists and podcasts live. Well, not live, sorry. Pre-recordedly live from the Lotus Lounge. And again, I'm so glad that Ultraviolet is our first band here, and they are officially on the Lotus Lounge staircase wall. So when everyone's coming down, they see all of the originators of the Lotus Lounge, and Ultraviolet is now one of them.
Yes.
So.
Let's give them a round of applause.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Well, thank you for being here.
And please come back when you're famous, so we can have you again. And don't forget that if I want to be a roadie.
I got you.
Yeah.
I do a lot of things. I'm really versatile, and I fit in the trunk really well.
That's true.
Like, I'm tiny. I only take a little tiny space. You can even put me in a suitcase if you have to, like, fly. So I'm good. You know, just wrap me up in, like, a parka or something. And I'll be in the woods, like freezing, but I'll be good. But I'm with you, so.
I can't be a roadie. They barely let me out to do this. I have to be back in a couple
Yeah,
of
we got to
minutes.
take him back.
Yeah, so it's the padded room for me.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, so much. We appreciate it. And we'll see you at the movies. Or not.
Sometime.
Huzzah!
This is Mike and Kelly, not so live. from
Not
the
so
Lotus
live
Lounge.
from the Lotus Lounge.
And yes, the Lotus Lounge is available for band practices and not so live recording, acoustic performances, and also interviews on our wonderful podcast. So if you're interested, you need to inquire within. I have a new Instagram account just for
Oh, nice.
this. It is New Jersey's Kelly, which is New Jersey S Kelly with an I. Ah, making a little song. New Jersey S Kelly with an I.
There you go. And my email address is mike@compuserve.com. That's right, CompuServe.
What? That's still.
No.
It's like optimal optonline.
Optonline / my throat.
AOL.com. I still have an AOL.
So do I. So.
But that was for my Instagram and Facebook. I do have a Facebook account too. And yes, it's me. It's an AI me with a crown on my head. So if you see that, that is the page that you need to be going to.
And if I had a crown on my head, it would be a huge crown because I have a fat head.
Mm-hmm. And then Mike's going to take his shirt off.
No, you don't want to see that at all. That's horrible. That is terrific. Just horrific. If Oh my God, people have gone blind from that happening.
Lainey can still see.
And she does not want to see that at all.
We're gonna have to get her on the show, and she's gonna have to testify on how she maintained her eyesight.
Oh God.
After you took
It's
your
usually
shirt
just
off.
me saying something stupid and her rolling her eyes. That's how she maintains her eyesight.
There's somebody for everybody. She is designed to deal with that sight.
I'll be honest with you, my parents pay her an awful lot of money
It's like
to
failure to launch.
Yeah, to stay with me, because there's no other way that relationship where you look at her and then you look at me and you go, I don't know how in the hell that
So
works.
are you McConaughey or are you Harrelson?
I'm neither. I'm neither one of those people. I'm Jabba the Hutt.
Oh Jesus!
You know, I'm Jabba the Hutt, and she's Carrie from King of Queens.
Oh, now that I can see the Kevin.
Yeah, you could see the big fat head. So I am Kevin, and she's
All
Carrie.
you need is a brown suit, like the UPS driver.
That's all I need.
I can make you one of those.
I may have to get in one.
The next episode that we have here, you might actually see Mike in a UPS suit. I'm going to make him one. I'm going to take his measurements after we do this, and I'm going to make him a UPS suit.
Yeah, so the waist is about 72.
It's 2.
Is it 72?
The head is 72.
The head is 140.
The waist is 2.
The waist is 72. And that's the only thing you would need.
Yeah, just a burlap bag, a brown burlap bag.
Just put it over my head.
And then I can use the Cricut and just do UPS.
Yeah, that's all you need. That would be
it.
Perfect. That would be great. Yeah.
I'd let you in. I believe it. If you had a bag, I would believe it. If you had a package in your hand.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think anybody should let me into their house ever. If I have anything in my hands.
It's too late for me. He's already in.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got in this house. I don't know how.
He just walked in the door.
I just fused right through the wall. You know.
Walked in.
Yeah, I just went right through the wall.
My kids were just like,
yeah, no big deal, no problem.
It's that guy.
There's a guy
He's
with
the
a big
guy
fat
on the
head.
couch.
Yeah, guy with a big fat head. He's downstairs.
Did you ever see that movie?
What?
What was it with David Chappelle?
The
guy on the couch.
I'll tell you, Dave Chappelle's
You gotta
amazing.
give some to the guy.
Yeah, I know. He's, I've always thought he was so funny in Men in Tights.
Oh God, that was the best. Men in Tights.
That's you.
Chew.
Oh my goodness.
But Mel Brooks is a genius.
Yes.
He's a genius. And it's great because I'm married to a Jewish guy, so like the Jewish humor just does not stop.
Me too. I'm married to a Jewish guy, so the humor doesn't stop. By the way, did you know? Here's a good question for you. Did you know that Blazing Saddles was not the original Blazing Saddles?
No.
There is an original Blazing Saddles that is completely different from what Mel Brooks did.
I can only imagine.
No, it's basically that they're being oppressed and all these horrible things are happening, and they go, we need to get a sheriff. They go into the future and get like a blues player from like 1975. They go to Chicago and get him and bring him back, and he like wows them all, and and I heard that. I was like, they got to make that movie.
It's like an Idiocracy when they had, President.
Oh
Gotcha.
God, yes.
The wrestler.
By the way, Idiocracy is now becoming a documentary.
This is our real life now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just getting worse.
I like money.
I like money.
Go away, I'm baiting.
Yeah, I mean, that's when.
We're here. We're here.
This is Idiocracy.
You're smart.
Not my name. Not my name. God help us all.
Brondo. It's got electrolytes.
What are electrolytes? I don't know, but they're good for plants.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, this is where we are in life, right?
And because we can talk about this because a big part of our thing is about how to get off this planet.
Yes. You have got to figure out how to get off this planet because so help me God, every day I wake up and I go, Thank God I'm alive. And then I put the TV on, or I'm watching TV, and then I see a man in France was attacked by a lion on the subway, and I go, I have to get off this planet because I can't take it anymore.
No, I am convinced that there is extraterrestrial alien life in existence, and some of it is actually here. I am calling out to those people, aliens, whatever you are. I'm in Fair Lawn, New Jersey. It's me and my husband and my 2 kids. Mike can come too. Can you please come and get us?
Get us off this planet.
Get us off this planet. Not as food, okay? We're not doing the whole to serve man thing.
No.
Because if you're going to just do that, I'll just stay here and, deal with what we got to deal with. But, like, I know how to crochet.
Right.
I'm crafty. I got skills. I'm an entertainer. I can entertain you guys. My kids are pretty smart too. We'll figure it out. You need us on your planet.
See, I don't have any of these skills. I have a big fat head. So if you need like an anchor to keep the craft
the news guy
from going up and down,
you'll be the news guy.
I'll be the news guy. I'll
show,
report all the news. And in blip blip,
you know what?
Blip, blip, blip.
On your planet, Earth will be like the Truman Show, and so then you can have Mike, just sitting there giving the play-by-plays on the Truman Show, what's going on Earth, because he's really, really good at it.
I'm not good at all at that, but my head, again, if you need to get your ship.
Do you know
anchored,
how long it took for us to get the camera angles right, just to make sure that we had the whole of his head in?
It was 1985, and the technology has changed so much through that time. We had a Samsung tape recorder and a video camera up here. We had a JVC enormous video camera.
This is on beta.
And then it just kept going, right. And it kept going, and the technology changed. And I had to go home and keep showering and coming back and eating. And now I'm just old and fat. And here I am. And that's all. And she has not aged at all since we started this thing. I look like I'm 150. I went to school with Abe Lincoln. I don't know if I told you that. I went to school with Abe Lincoln. He cheated off me on a test. I told him to go see a play, and I never heard from him again.
Oh, well, when 900 years old you are, this good you look. No.
By the way, that's how Lainey talks. Lainey sounds like Yoda. She talks backwards. So good they are. What?
She's Greek, right?
Yes.
His girlfriend's Greek.
Yeah, she's Greek, and I don't know how she puts up with me.
She talks backwards, he said.
I don't know how she puts up with me, to be honest with you. I mean, if you had this 24 hours a day, you would just, I have to leave.
I have to. Be her?
We met because I was living near her mother, and I was had broken up with somebody, and we were talking, and she started talking about her daughter, and one thing led to another, and she had said, you should be with my daughter. And I knew her through friends because she was a year younger than me, but we never really met. And then once we met, we just hit it off, and she's amazing. She's so kind. She's great with kids. She's funny. She's attractive. None of these things which I hold at all. I don't have any of these things.
But that's why you have her, because you are a good person.
I'm a horrible person. Kelly's lying. Kelly's a wonderful person.
I would not be doing this if you were a douchebag.
Well, again, my parents are paying you an awful lot of money to host the show.
In case you guys want to know, I don't know, some of you have been on my Facebook page. Some of you don't need to be there anymore. And some of you are afraid of my Facebook page, and you should be. Except for Mike. Mike would always just, I'd be like, 12 o'clock at night, and I wasn't feeling so happy. And I would spew some shit on Facebook. And then Mike would come in with some crazy, hilarious comment, and I'm just like, fuck you, Mike. Mike, that was really fucking funny. Okay, okay, damn it. And then I would have the DM. Okay, that shit was really funny, but don't let my friends. I can't laugh when they're seeing this because I'm supposed to be serious, and you're making me laugh at your shit.
Listen, life is too short to be angry all the time.
Of course.
If you can't laugh at every situation, I don't know what to tell you.
Of course.
Every situation to me is, there's always a sense of humor. You can find it in anything. You know, it's one day we're all not going to be here. And hopefully it's not for...
Wait till we really get this whole podcast going now, because we're going to be pulling up some of the craziest shit that we find on social media and try to make sense of it, because we need to get off this fucking planet.
We have got to get off this planet immediately.
That is one thing that we both agree on.
Yes.
That we don't belong here.
No. I don't know what happened. I don't know how I wound up here. I don't
belong here.
Right. Because I'm a
normal person.
I'm not.
And everyone else is a weirdo.
I'm neither one of those things.
I'm sorry. This planet is infected. There is something seriously wrong with the air here.
Yes.
In the water or something. I don't know. It's just...
I agree. That's why I started drinking out of the toilet. It's a lot safer. I probably got some kind of disease.
I have a fish tank over there. You can drink out of it. It's fresh water.
Oh, yeah, by the way, I forgot to tell you. I drank all the stuff in the toilet and put it into the fish tank.
I told him not to drink the purple water.
I'm sorry. I had to. That's why I'm seeing 17 different people in front of me right now. But yeah, we have got to get off this planet.
Indeed.
You know, Kelly's a wonderful person, and I'm so glad that she's doing this with me. I don't know why or how, but it's just amazing. She's a wonderful person.
He asked me.
I asked her. My parents paid her a lot of money, and this is just an incredible thing. And we're very happy that you're here to join us. We hope you continue to follow us.
And please send us any kind of suggestions, stuff you want us to talk about, songs you want Mike to do a song and dance, tap dance thing too, because we've been working on that.
You don't want to see that. It's horrible.
You really want to see
my
it.
dancing.
You really do.
Is not good.
I'm working on his confidence. He's getting there. He's gonna be really good.
No, Lainey says I look like I'm directing traffic.
I know the lady.
Yeah, that's not good. Don't want to see that at all, ever. That's not good for anybody. But yeah, I mean, any suggestions you have, anything that you would like to see, segments, if you want us to bring somebody on.
Right. And if you know the person that you want us to bring on, that helps, because, we don't know everybody. So if there's someone you want to see or have interviewed or whatever, and you know them or you are them,
yeah.
Then again, look us up. And I'm on Instagram and Facebook. New Jersey's Kelly with an I.
And I'm at Mike at CompuServe.com. Or you could just use telepathy. Watch it. Much easier.
Optonline.net.
Optonline /mythroat.com.
Verizon.net. There's still
Verizon. Whatever it is. Whatever it takes. 220, 221.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Have a great night, people.
Have an excellent evening.
Thank you for tolerating
me.
This nonsense.
Yes.
We'll see you soon.
We will see you soon. Soon. Not too soon. We hope.
Next week. Next month.
Yes. Sometime. Whenever we feel like it.
Because we got it like that.
Yeah. Well, you got it like that. I don't know how the hell I have it. I'll be honest with you. I have to have doctors tell me how I have it. If you can recommend a good gynecologist for me, I'd really have things set up in the right way. Yes, question.
No, I can volunteer my services.
Oh, okay. I thought you had a question for me.
No.
I don't have
You can actually order your own speculum online now. It's a special one. It's really nice.
I've been speculating that I should get a speculum.
Okay, so we need to leave now because I have to show him my new speculum that I got.
I'm very excited about this.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a podcast just on the speculum. Well, that's it.
Thank you. for joining us tonight.
Take care.
I was trying to count because it's like 17 notes and then you have to pay royalties. So I don't think we were there yet.
No. See you later.